Urushi is the natural resin collected from the lacquer tree, a plant native only to Asia. Refined into a coating and adhesive material, Urushi has been used in Japan since the ancient Jomon period, 10,000 years ago. The Urushi Alaya project is based on a foundation of appreciation and respect for both nature and surfing. Surfing enthusiasts from Japan, Australia, and America are working together to establish and maintain a beautiful world, a sustainable environment, and a responsible society that can be passed on to the next generation.
I'm Andy from Woodsurfco. We have a small timber surfboard business and sawmill in the hills just behind Byron. We're cutting the Paulownia tree today for Tom Wegener. He's going to make a pretty special surfboard out of it. I met Tom probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I actually started a project with him and Dave Rastovich building a dugout canoe, which was a pretty cool way to get acquainted. And I wanted to cut the Paulownia timber for surfboards, and Tom had a wealth of knowledge and he'd been doing it for a long time already. So, we connected there, and, it's the rest is history.
It's so much a part of my waking life. Even if I'm not making surfboards, I'm still thinking of surfing and that joy of riding waves. And it's magical to me. It's such a big part of my life. My family, surfing. I started shaping surfboards in 1978, and I did it because I've always wanted to be more a part of surfing. If I make the board and I'm riding the wave and I feel the board, I'm learning about the board. I'm learning about myself, really. Making surfboards is largely a part of learning about yourself, believe it or not, because you find out how you want to surf the wave, and that translates a bit in who you want to be. It helps you create the person that you want to become. Surfers, and especially surfboard shapers, they feel a real connection with the waves and the water. And the great surfers before us, like Tom Blake, said that God is nature, and by coming to know the rules of nature, you're basically becoming to know the rules of God and God better, it's a huge statement, but it's basically getting to know nature better and finding your way in nature, which is the wave, where you're just completely in the raw environment outside of where humans normally are. I've had a long affiliation with making wood surfboards, starting in the 70s when I rode some old balsa wood surfboards, and I just loved the feel of them. And then going on, I rode some hollow wood boards that I liked, and then I found Paulownia wood, which is kiri in Japan, and found that wood is so amazing for surfboards that I can actually make an entire surfboard world out of kiri wood and kiri surfboards. Because kiri, of course, the Japanese have been using kiri forever, and for their surfboards forever, and we a bit late starting down here in 2003 when I started using kiri, but it's fantastic wood. Making foam surfboards, which I do as well, is just so easy. God, there's no comparison. And for me, I like to do things that are hard, I guess, because it takes skill, it takes planning. You've got to know the wood. Working with wood, you've got to know the grains of the wood and the feel of the wood and the knots of the wood. With a surfboard blank and a surfboard foam, it's just all the same. It's always the same. And they strive for sameness, where I strive for difference.
Much like the process of an oyster creating a pearl, when the lacquer tree is cut or damaged, it secretes resin to heal and protect itself. The lacquer trees must be carefully raised and nurtured for 10 to 15 years to mature. From these trees, the lacquer tapper slowly collects the resin over a period of about 5 months, and even then, only about 200 grams of resin can be collected. It is thus a natural resource of great scarcity and value.
堤朝吉漆店の堤拓也です。 明治42年創業の漆屋で、私は4代目になります。樹液である漆は循環可能な地球に優しい資源。その漆を精製するのが私の仕事です。日々の温湿度にも大きく左右され、まさに自然と向き合いながら漆は出来上がります。漆の作り出す独特の塗膜はしっとりと人の肌になじみ、使い込むことで味わい深い艶や風合いに育ってゆく。傷んだり壊れても修理して長く使いつなぐことができます。昔から日本人の生活の中で使われてきた漆ですが、現代では工芸品や文化財といったイメージが強く、日常生活から遠い存在になりつつあります。安くて便利なものが簡単に手に入り、使い捨ては当たり前の時代の中で、漆の使用量は激減しています。日々漆と接する中、私は漆の美しさに加えて天然素材としての素晴らしさに魅了されてきました。先人から受け継がれてきた漆の木と漆の文化を次世代につなぎたい、そんな思いがあります。漆を現代の生活の中に取り戻すにはどうしたらいいか。サーフィンが一つのヒントになりました。10年ぐらい前に見たサーフムービースプラウト、その中でウッドのサーフボードを作るトム・ウェグナーさんに出会いました。自然とのバランス、家族との時間を考えウッドの板を作るトムさん。トムさんの板に込めた深い思いや愛情を感じ、その時ただただこの人の板に漆を塗りたいと思いました。自然を大切にしたいという思いと、循環可能で地球に優しい漆。私が魅了されたように、トムさんをはじめ海や自然を大切にする人たちに、天然素材としての漆の魅力は国や人種を超えて十分伝わるのではないかと考え始めました。この子たちが植えた漆の木から樹液が取れるようになるまで10年から15年、子どもたちも漆の木も成長した10年後15年後の地球も美しくあってほしい。私はサーフィンを通して自然の素晴らしさや偉大さを感じるようになりました。子供が生まれて美しい地球を次世代に残したい思いがより強くなりました。私たち人間は知らぬ間に地球を汚し、自然環境を悪化させている。次世代のために今自分たちにできることを世界中の人と一緒に考えていきたいです。
You know, why do I make a.k.a.Tsuyoshi? It's because I saw them in the Bishop Museum in 2005, and I saw these simple plaques of wood that nobody thought were actually surfboards that you could stand on and ride. And then I went back to my house and I made some replicas, and we started riding them, and we found that the ancient Hawaiians were far more advanced at surfing than we ever thought possible. The Urushi lacquer is unbelievably good. It seems to be far better than anything we're doing. And so I am super excited to be a part of it and to use it on my surfboards because the finish is just unbelievable.
Started as supporting local businesses at a very early stage. We had a local bee farmer who was delivering honey to our house. Our bee farmer was kind of over the period of time just explaining that when times are tough, he was shipping wax to China to the makeup industry. That kind of posed an opportunity, and I was kind of thinking about just a different way of keeping that product here and being able to work with a local business. And did a bit of research, and then I remembered as a grommet and as a kid, the old beeswax, one of the brands. And I remember when I was a kid, there was a brand called just beeswax, had the black and yellow kind of stripe. The brands had it, there'd only been one or two brands that kind of dominated it since the 70s, and I saw it as an opportunity to really shake up the market and try and do something good. And I guess for us, it's really about putting a product out there that isn't damaging the environment. It's not damaging the seas. It's not damaging the life within the seas, and it's a sustainable product. Yeah, so it's kind of at the core of everything that we're doing.
I like using eco-friendly materials because it's who I am. I want to leave a small footprint on this earth when I go, and I want to actually make it better in a way. And so by changing the surfboard industry from very toxic materials that end up in waste dumps and are bad for the people that make the surfboards to an industry where the boards will be recycled, fall back into the earth, and leave a very green footprint. It's better for the world and it's better for the people making the surfboards. So when I found that I could make boards out of wood, and especially the a.k.a. surfboards, and that I could coat them in natural lacquers and oils, I was so stoked. It just changed my life. The Urushi a.k.a. project is something that's so exciting because once again, we're learning how to remake surfboards better than we were making them before. And so I put my heart and soul into these a.k.a.s for this project, and I think they're the best a.k.a.s in the world, and I wanted to get the best surfer in the world to ride them. And so we've got Gus O'Malley up here, who is just an absolute natural talent to show us how to ride these boards and put them in the best light possible.
Most unique board you can possibly find, from the wood, Polonia wood, to the sap from the Urushi tree. I got one wave out there which is definitely my favourite, just slicing through the water in the pocket. You can do some fun spins and fun slides. It's 100% faster, definitely faster than normal waves. Tom and Taku have done an amazing job.
It is our dream that the Urushi model of the a.k.a. surfboard will cross the seas, and that by coming in contact with it, people will be able to rethink and reevaluate the grandeur and importance of nature. With this in mind, the Urushi-coated a.k.a. that Tom Wegener and Takuya Tsutsumi created will be the first board to set out on that journey. As more and more people learn about Urushi, there will most certainly be a change in values, creating more and more new ideas. This will hopefully create a greater demand for Urushi, leading to the planting of more lacquer trees and ensuring the preservation and development of Urushi itself and its culture. We sincerely hope that in this way we can do our part to secure the health and beauty of our planet.